The first day of my arrival, I was driving through the streets of Johannesburg. And what I saw is a huge statement about the fact that the struggle against apartheid is not over yet. You drive on the streets of Johannesburg and what do you see? The street names, German, English. You hardly find a street name which is African. And yet, we wallow in the assumption that we have liberated ourselves from apartheid. Today, you go to Soweto, you go to the shanty towns and so on. Who lives in those shacks? Who are the people who suffer mass employment in this country? The struggle against apartheid is not over. We are told not to follow the Chinese example. We are told not to follow the example of Cuba. We are told not to follow the example of Venezuela and so on. And we are told to follow the example of the United States of America. We are told to follow the example of Germany. We are told to follow the example of France. What is that example? Clearly, the prosperity that the ruling classes in these countries enjoy is not the result of their hard work or the correctness of the ideological and political path. The prosperity they enjoy comes out of the fact that for years, for hundreds of years, our forebears were captured as beasts of burden to work their plantations. They captured the best in Africa. They captured the best architects, the doctors, and so on, and made them work for free in conditions of slavery. Today, they live in relative prosperity because of the colonial adventure, because they controlled our resources and they exploited our resources for their own benefit. I look at the railway lines in Ghana and I'm not surprised at our poverty. If you look at the railway lines in Ghana, they all start from areas of concentration of wealth. They start from the gold mines. They start from the diamond mines. They start from the forests where we cut timber and so on. And where do they end up? They do not end up in African factories producing the needs of the African people. They end up at the ports. They end up at the ports because these resources are being taken away to build Europe, to build North America, to enrich the bourgeoisie in those societies. We have to change the story that our railway lines tell us about ourselves and so on. In any case, those who say that we should follow the American example, those who say that we should follow the German example and so on, I like to ask just one question. Yes, we are ready to follow the example, but first, they must tell us which people we can also go and capture as slaves to work for us for 100 years without pay. They must tell us which territories in the world today we as Africans can go and colonize. They must tell us what territories in the world today we can establish a neo-colonial relationship with. If they show us that, perhaps we will follow the example.